Stop everything you're doing right now. If you're over 60, what I'm about to tell you in the next few minutes could be the difference between waking up tomorrow morning and not waking up at all. 3 days ago, I lost a patient. A wonderful 68-year-old grandmother named Helen. She did everything right. Took her medications, exercised gently, ate what she thought were healthy foods. But Helen died from something that would shock you. Not from cancer. Not from an accident. She died because of the healthy fruit she ate every single morning with her heart medication. Helen's family is devastated. They keep asking me, how could fruit kill our mother? And that's exactly why I'm making this video today. Hi, I'm Dr. Charles Thompson, but my patients and their families call me Dr. Charlie. For over 20 years, I've been a geriatric cardiologist, which means I specialize in one thing: protecting the hearts of people just like you, people over 60. I've sat beside thousands of hospital beds. I've held the hands of worried spouses. I've looked into the eyes of children who are terrified they're about to lose their parent. And you know what breaks my heart the most? When I have to tell a family that their loved one's heart attack could have been prevented, if only they had known what I'm about to share with you. I've dedicated my entire career to one mission: keeping your heart beating strong so you can be there for every grandchild's birthday, every anniversary, every sunset you deserve to see. Today, I need to share something urgent with you, and I'm begging you, please don't skip this video. What I'm about to tell you could literally save your life, and I mean that with every fiber of my being. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to protect you, because I've seen too many good people who remind me of my own parents, my own neighbors, make dangerous mistakes with foods they thought were helping their hearts. You see, after 60, your body doesn't work the same way it did when you were younger. Foods that were once perfectly safe can become silent killers. And the worst part? The deadliest foods are often the ones we've been told are heart healthy. Right now, sitting in your kitchen, you probably have at least one of the 5 fruits I'm about to reveal. Fruits that millions of seniors eat every day, thinking they're doing something good for their health. But for someone over 60, these fruits can be like playing Russian roulette with your heart. If you care about your health, if you want to be here for your family, if you want to wake up tomorrow feeling strong and alive, then please, give me the next 15 minutes. Because what you're about to learn could add years to your life, or save it entirely. But before we dive in, drop a comment and let me know where you're watching from today. And if this could help someone you care about stay longer, smash that like button and subscribe to Elderly Healthcare. Let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about this. How many times in your life have you heard a doctor, a nurse, or even your own children say, "Dad, eat more fruits for your heart"? How many times have you nodded along, thinking you were being a good patient? I bet right now, you can picture your morning routine. Maybe you reach for that banana with your coffee, thinking you're giving your body potassium for a strong heart. Maybe you pour yourself a nice glass of fresh grapefruit juice because someone told you vitamin C is good for you. Maybe you snack on those sweet dried apricots because they're natural and healthy. And here's what makes my job so heartbreaking. You're doing exactly what you think you should be doing. You're following advice that worked for you 20, 30 years ago. You're eating the same foods your doctor recommended when you were 50. But here's what nobody told you, what most doctors don't even realize. After 60, your body betrays you in ways that are invisible and silent. What if I told you that after 60, your kidneys don't filter the way they used to? What if I told you that the medications keeping you alive can turn a simple piece of fruit into a weapon against your own heart? What if I told you that the very foods you trust most, the ones sitting in your fruit bowl right now, could be silently setting up your cardiovascular system for disaster? I know this sounds impossible. I know you're probably thinking, Dr. Charlie, that can't be right. Fruit is natural. Fruit is healthy. And you're not wrong. Fruit can be healthy. But for someone over 60, especially someone on heart medications, some fruits become as dangerous as poison. The tragedy is, you won't feel it happening. You won't get a warning. Your body won't send you a text message saying, "Hey, that grapefruit you just ate is about to interfere with your heart medication." You'll just go about your day, feeling fine, while inside, a storm is building in your cardiovascular system. And that's exactly what happened to Helen, and too many others just like her. Let me tell you what really happened to Helen, because understanding her story will help you understand what's happening inside your own body right now. Helen was 68, just like some of you watching this. She took her blood pressure medication every morning at 7 a.m., just like her doctor told her. And right after taking that pill, she'd sit down with her husband and enjoy a big glass of fresh grapefruit juice. For 15 years, this was their routine. 15 years of thinking she was doing something healthy for her heart. But here's what Helen didn't know, what her doctor never explained to her. At 68, her liver wasn't the same liver she had at 50. And that grapefruit juice? It was quietly blocking the enzymes in her liver that were supposed to break down her heart medication. Every single morning, instead of her medication working properly and then leaving her system, it was building up. Day after day, week after week, month after month. Her body was becoming a toxic reservoir of heart medication, and nobody knew it was happening. Until the morning her heart couldn't take it anymore. Now, here's what most people don't understand, and what I wish every doctor would explain to their patients over 60. Everything changes after you hit 60. Everything. Your kidneys, those amazing filters that have served you faithfully for decades, they start to slow down. They can't process potassium the way they used to. So that banana that gave you energy at 40, at 70, it can flood your bloodstream with so much potassium that your heart rhythm goes haywire and just stops. Your metabolism, that internal engine that's been burning fuel for 6 decades, it dramatically slows down. Your liver, that incredible chemical processing plant in your body, it can't handle the same workload anymore. Medications stay in your system longer. Foods affect you differently. What once helped you can now hurt you. And here's the cruel irony. The older you get, the more medications you're likely to be taking. Blood pressure pills, cholesterol medications, diabetes drugs, blood thinners. Every single one of these can turn a perfectly innocent piece of fruit into a potential threat to your life. That grapefruit that once gave you vitamin C? After 60, especially if you're on statins or blood pressure medication, it can cause those drugs to build up to toxic levels in your system. That morning banana that provided you with energy? If your kidneys aren't filtering properly anymore, it can stop your heart with potassium overload. That glass of orange juice you thought was healthier than soda? Without the fiber to slow down absorption, it can send your blood sugar skyrocketing and crash your system like you're in diabetic shock. This isn't your fault. Nobody told you this. Most doctors don't even think to warn you about these interactions because they're focused on treating your diseases, not preventing food-related complications. But I'm different. I've seen too many Helens. I've sat with too many families who are shocked to learn that a piece of fruit contributed to their loved one's heart attack. And I refuse to let it happen to you. So I'm going to walk you through 5 specific fruits that become dangerous after 60. Not just dangerous, potentially deadly. And more importantly, I'm going to tell you exactly when and why they become deadly, so you can protect yourself and still enjoy the foods you love safely. Because here's what I want you to understand. I'm not trying to take away your enjoyment of food. I'm trying to save your life so you can enjoy many more years of good food, good health, and precious time with the people you love. Let's start with the most dangerous one first, and this is the one that killed Helen. Grapefruit. Beautiful, juicy, packed with vitamin C. For decades, you've probably heard it's one of the healthiest fruits you can eat. And you know what? For a younger person not on medications, that's absolutely true. But if you're over 60 and taking heart medications, grapefruit becomes a silent assassin sitting in your refrigerator. Here's what happens inside your body, and I want you to really understand this because it could save your life. When you eat grapefruit or drink grapefruit juice, it contains compounds that go straight to your liver and block specific enzymes. Think of these enzymes as little workers whose job is to break down and remove medications from your body. But grapefruit basically puts these workers to sleep. They can't do their job anymore. So what happens to your heart medication? Instead of being processed and eliminated like it's supposed to be, it just stays in your system and builds up more. Every day you take your pill and eat that grapefruit, you're essentially doubling or even tripling the dose of medication in your bloodstream. Now, are you taking statins for cholesterol? Grapefruit can make them build up to toxic levels, causing severe muscle damage and kidney failure. Are you on blood pressure medications like amlodipine or felodipine? Grapefruit can cause them to accumulate until your blood pressure drops so dangerously low that you collapse. Are you taking blood thinners like warfarin? Grapefruit can amplify their effects until you're at risk of bleeding to death from the smallest cut. This isn't theory. This is documented medical fact. The FDA has issued warnings about this interaction for years, but somehow, patients aren't getting the message. Helen's husband still blames himself. If only I had known, he tells me. If only someone had warned us. Well, I'm warning you right now. If you're on any heart medications, and I mean any, grapefruit and grapefruit juice need to disappear from your life completely. Not reduced portions. Not just a little bit. Gone. Before you eat another piece of grapefruit, call your doctor. Show them every medication you're taking. Ask them directly. Is it safe for me to eat grapefruit? Because the life you save might be your own. Now, the second fruit might surprise you because many of you have probably never even heard of it. It's called star fruit, or carambola. You might see it in the grocery store. It's yellow, shaped like a star when you slice it, looks absolutely beautiful and exotic. And it's one of the most dangerous things a person over 60 can put in their mouth. Here's why this fruit is so terrifying. It contains natural neurotoxins. Now, when you're young and your kidneys are working perfectly, they can filter these toxins out of your blood before they cause any harm. But after 60, even if you think your kidneys are fine, they're just not the same anymore. These neurotoxins start building up in your bloodstream, and they head straight for your brain and nervous system. I had a 71-year-old patient, Robert, who tried star fruit at an Asian restaurant because he wanted to be adventurous. His wife said it was the first time she'd seen him try something new in years, and she was so proud of him for stepping out of his comfort zone. 3 hours later, Robert started feeling confused. Within 6 hours, he was having seizures. By the next morning, he was in a coma. His family couldn't understand it. But doctor, it's just fruit. How can fruit do this? The terrifying thing about star fruit is that there's no safe amount for someone over 60. Not a small piece. Not a tiny taste. Nothing. Even one bite can trigger these neurotoxins to accumulate faster than your aging kidneys can handle. And here's what makes it even more dangerous. If you have any kidney problems at all, even mild ones you might not even know about, star fruit can literally kill you. We're not talking about feeling sick. We're talking about seizures, brain damage, and death. The worst part? Many people don't even realize they have mild kidney problems until it's too late. So here's my advice, and I cannot be more serious about this. If you're over 60, never eat star fruit. Ever. No matter how curious you are, no matter how healthy you think you are. The risk is simply not worth it. Your life is precious. Don't gamble it on a piece of exotic fruit. Now, let's talk about a fruit that's probably sitting on your kitchen counter right now. A fruit that you've trusted your entire life. A fruit that's so innocent, so familiar, that what I'm about to tell you might shock you more than anything else in this video. Bananas. I know what you're thinking. Dr. Charlie, you've got to be kidding me. Bananas? I've been eating bananas since I was a child. Athletes eat bananas. They're the most harmless fruit on earth. And you're right, they were harmless when you were younger. But let me tell you about Margaret, the patient I mentioned earlier. She was 68 years old, and every single morning for the past 10 years, she ate 2 bananas with her breakfast. For the potassium, she'd tell me proudly. Good for my heart, right, doctor? Until the morning her heart started beating so irregularly that her husband rushed her to the emergency room. Here's what Margaret didn't know, what most people don't understand. Bananas are absolutely loaded with potassium. One large banana contains about 420 milligrams of potassium. And potassium is essential for your heart, but only if your kidneys can properly regulate it. After 60, your kidneys start to lose their filtering power. They can't remove excess potassium from your blood as efficiently as they used to. So when you eat those bananas, especially if you're eating more than one, or eating them every day, potassium starts building up in your bloodstream. This condition is called hyperkalemia, and it's a silent killer. Here's what hyperkalemia does to your heart. Potassium controls the electrical signals that make your heart beat. Too much potassium, and those electrical signals get scrambled. Your heart starts beating irregularly. Then it starts slowing down. And in severe cases, it just stops. The terrifying part? You might not feel anything at first. Maybe some fatigue that you blame on getting older. Maybe some muscle weakness that you think is just part of aging. Maybe some heart palpitations that you dismiss as stress. But inside your body, your heart is struggling with every beat. Margaret was lucky. We caught it in time. But I've lost patients to hyperkalemia, and their families always say the same thing. But they were just eating healthy foods. Now, I'm not telling you to never eat another banana. But if you're over 60, you need to be smart about it. Eat half a banana instead of a whole one. Have it every other day instead of every day. Pair it with foods that are low in potassium, like rice or bread, to balance things out. And if you're on certain medications, especially blood pressure medications, diuretics, or if you have any kidney problems, please talk to your doctor about how much potassium is safe for you. Because the banana that's supposed to be good for your heart could be the very thing that stops it. Now let's talk about something that might be the hardest truth I have to share with you today. Something that's going to challenge everything you thought you knew about healthy choices. Fruit juice. Any fruit juice. Orange juice, apple juice, cranberry juice, it doesn't matter. If it comes from a bottle, carton, or even if you squeeze it fresh yourself, it has become one of the most dangerous things you can put in your body after 60. I know this is hard to hear. For decades, we've been told that fruit juice is healthy. It's natural. It's got vitamins. At least it's better than soda. But here's what nobody told you. When you turn a piece of fruit into juice, you've essentially created liquid sugar with a health halo. Let me explain what happens inside your body when you drink fruit juice, and why it's so much more dangerous for someone your age. When you eat a whole orange, it comes with fiber. That fiber acts like a sponge, slowing down how quickly the sugar gets absorbed into your bloodstream. Your body can handle it. Your blood sugar rises gently, stays stable, and your heart stays happy. But when you drink orange juice, even the fresh squeezed kind, all that protective fiber is gone. You're essentially mainlining sugar directly into your bloodstream. One glass of orange juice contains the sugar of 3 or 4 oranges, but without any of the protection. At 30 or 40, your metabolism might have been able to handle that sugar rush. But after 60, your body can't keep up anymore. Harvard researchers followed nearly 200,000 people for over 20 years and found something shocking. People who drank just one serving of fruit juice daily had a 21% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes. 21%. That's not a small increase. That's a massive jump in your risk. And here's what makes it even worse for seniors. When your blood sugar spikes that high, that fast, it doesn't just affect your diabetes risk. It creates inflammation throughout your entire cardiovascular system. Your arteries take a beating. Your heart has to work harder. Over time, this leads to heart disease, stroke, and accelerated aging of every organ in your body. I had a patient, Dorothy, who prided herself on drinking fresh orange juice every morning instead of coffee. At least I'm not drinking caffeine, she'd tell me. But Dorothy developed diabetes at 69 and then heart disease at 72. When I explained the connection to her daily juice habit, she broke down crying. But Dr. Charlie, I thought I was being so healthy. If you want fruit, eat the whole fruit. Feel the satisfaction of chewing it. Get the fiber that protects you. If you absolutely must have juice occasionally, dilute it with water, half juice, half water, and treat it like the sugar bomb it is. Your body deserves better than a sugar tsunami disguised as health food. And now we come to the fifth and final fruit that could be destroying your heart. And this one might be the sneakiest of all because it's hiding everywhere in your kitchen. Dried fruits. Raisins, dried apricots, dried cranberries, dates, prunes. They seem so innocent, don't they? So convenient. So naturally sweet. But here's what happens when you dry a fruit. You remove all the water, but you keep all the sugar and all the potassium. What you end up with is basically nature's candy. A concentrated bomb of everything that can harm your aging body. Think about it this way. When you eat a fresh apricot, you're getting the sugar and potassium from one apricot. But when you eat dried apricots, you can easily pop 6 or 7 in your mouth without even thinking about it. You've just consumed the concentrated sugar and potassium of 7 apricots in about 30 seconds. I had a patient named Bill who loved trail mix. He thought he was being so healthy, snacking on nuts and dried fruit instead of chips. But Bill was eating about a cup of trail mix every afternoon while watching TV. He had no idea he was consuming the equivalent sugar of about 15 pieces of fresh fruit every single day. Bill's blood sugar started going on a roller coaster, sky high after his snack, then crashing so low he'd feel weak and shaky. His heart was working overtime trying to manage these massive spikes and crashes. And the concentrated potassium? It was pushing his levels into the danger zone. But here's the really sneaky part. Dried fruits are hidden in so many foods we think are healthy. Granola bars, breakfast cereals, muffins, even some salads at restaurants. You think you're making good choices, but you're actually getting hit with concentrated fruit sugar from multiple sources throughout the day. Your body can't tell the difference between the sugar in dried cranberries and the sugar in a candy bar. It all hits your bloodstream the same way, fast and hard. If you love the sweetness of fruit, stick to fresh fruit. Your body will thank you for the fiber, the water content, and the natural portion control that comes with eating something fresh instead of concentrated. Read every label. If you see dried fruit listed in the ingredients, think twice. Your heart deserves better than these concentrated killers disguised as health food. I know this is overwhelming. I can almost hear some of you thinking, Dr. Charlie, now I can't even eat healthy foods? What's next? Are you going to tell me breathing is dangerous? I get it. I really do. And that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not here to take away your joy in food or make you afraid of everything you put in your mouth. I'm saying something much more important. Eat smart. You see, your heart has been your most faithful companion for over 60 years. Think about that for a moment. Every single beat, over 2 billion beats so far, has carried you through every joy, every challenge, every precious moment of your life. Your heart was beating when you held your children for the first time. It was beating when you walked down the aisle, when you got that promotion, when you celebrated your first grandchild being born. It beat through the hard times too, the losses, the worries, the sleepless nights when you were caring for others. Your heart has never asked for a day off. It's never called in sick. It's been there for you through everything, working tirelessly, faithfully, without complaint. And now, when your heart needs you most, when it's showing signs of wear after all these years of service, you have the power to protect it. These aren't restrictions I'm giving you. They're acts of love for the heart that's loved you all these years. Every smart choice you make from this moment forward is another morning you'll wake up feeling strong. It's another day you'll be there when your grandchildren need you. It's another sunset you'll watch with your spouse, another family dinner where you're sitting at the head of the table, another Christmas morning where you're the one handing out the gifts. You're not too old to change. You've lived long enough to understand that small changes can make enormous differences. You've seen enough of life to know that taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's the greatest gift you can give to everyone who loves you. And here's what I want you to remember. You now have knowledge that most people your age don't have. You're empowered. You're informed. You can make choices that will protect your heart and extend your time with the people you love most. That's not overwhelming. That's hopeful. That's powerful. That's love in action. If this video could save your life or the life of someone you love, I need you to do something for me right now. Hit that like button. Not because it helps me, though it does, but because it tells YouTube that this information is important, that it needs to reach more people. Every like pushes this video to another person over 60 who desperately needs to hear this message. And please, subscribe to Elderly Healthcare. I make these videos for one reason only, to keep you healthy and safe. When you subscribe, you'll never miss critical health information that could protect your heart. But here's the most important thing I'm going to ask you to do. Share this video. Right now, share it with every person over 60 in your life. Your spouse, your siblings, your friends, your neighbors. Send it to your children so they can share it with their friends' parents. This isn't just a video. This could literally be the difference between life and death for someone you care about. Think about Helen. Think about Margaret. Think about Robert. Their families wish someone had shared this information with them before it was too late. Don't let that happen to someone you love. And I want to hear from you. Comment below and tell me, which of these 5 fruits shocked you the most? Was it the grapefruit? The innocent-looking banana? The dried fruits hiding in your pantry? I read every single comment, and I often create videos based on your questions because your health matters to me. You're not just a viewer. You're someone's parent, grandparent, friend. You matter. So talk to me. Let me know what other health concerns are keeping you up at night. Because I'm here for you. Remember, you now have life-saving knowledge that most seniors don't possess. Use it wisely. Protect your heart fiercely. Share it generously. This isn't about living in fear. It's about living with wisdom. Your heart has been faithful to you for decades. Now it's time to be faithful to